Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series.
Because creators are businesses.
What we do is not simple.
Give, the fans everything that they deserve.
Being creative
is like doing a 5,000 piece puzzle.
is something that you can learn and do over and over again.
Always be as authentic as I can be.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series. I am so excited to have Dr. Victoria Grinman here with me today. She is a psychotherapist, and she's a mentor to rising therapists. She is a keynote speaker, trainer, philanthropist, all of these incredible titles, and I am so excited to have her here with me. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be with you, Danielle.
I'm so excited. I want to hop right into your journey and just how you came to be in the place that you are. Why go into therapy? Why start down this path for you?
Sure. Many years ago, I started on this path. I remember being very young, taking a psychology class that was offered to high schoolers, and just the inner workings of the human mind. Why do we do what we do was always very fascinating to me. And fast forward, I was into the performing arts. I went to LaGuardia Performing Arts. I was singing on stage. I fell in love with being on stage, less for being the center of attention and more because of how we can impact people with our being. Standing ovation. When I was very young, I recognized how impactful moving people can be by just singing a song or bringing emotion to the stage. It was very, very impactful and formative for me, which led me down the path of, going to college, recognizing performance art in terms of being the thing was not my thing. It was a hobby. It was my passion. It was my way to express. And I wanted to find another way to channel that expression. Psychology was incredible. And then social work was something I fell in love with just because of the essence of a strengths-based approach and supporting the community and having an integrative experience. And then just, all of my really wonderful, difficult, challenging experiences in the beginning of my career led me to, private practice and being able to express myself, and then, teaching, speaking, all these different wonderful, beautiful opportunities. And here I am. So it's just honestly something I love.
I love it. And you've publicly said you describe yourself as a perpetual learner and an evolving human. Has there been something that a lesson recently that you've learned that shifted your perspective on healing or growth?
Oh yeah, I'm learning every day. The more I learn, the more I'm like, I know nothing. There's just so much. And I hope that I'm this way every day of my life, because the day where I feel bored is the day there's a problem. There's something going on. Really leaning into, there's a lot, but there's a something I'm working on a great deal in a certain area of my life, and having faith beyond logic, having faith beyond being able to see what's actually there in front of me right now for what's possible. And it's something that I do have for certain things and I'm working on for others. And I think that, leaning into those darker, challenging moments that feel like, why me, are actually really big blessings and gifts. So knowing it conceptually has always been there, but practicing it in life is a whole different thing.
I think we a lot of times when we say the why me, we get so wrapped up in the emotional part that the logic just goes right out the window for a lot of us, that we can't see around those emotions in terms of why me? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah, but now it's like, of course me.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank goodness me.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's me. Like, thank you. Because, it's interesting when I'm on vacation, I don't know about you, I love all kinds of vacations. I like the kinds where you travel and you enjoy, and the kinds where you just kind of lay around and do absolutely nothing but put your head in a book and sleep and eat, enjoy, right? But I notice, and someone said to me, we don't grow in those spaces. And I'm like, you're right. Like when I'm happy and things are just like lining up, I'm not really growing. I'm not really reaching because things are good. But it's in those moments where I'm being gifted an obstacle or a roadblock where I'm recognizing more and more viscerally, not just up here intellectually. Because I'm a smart person, I'm a spiritual person. I always knew this.
Yeah.
But really practicing, like, oh, like this is a gift for me.
I love the phrases that you were saying. It's like we need to have those somewhere on sticky notes around our houses somewhere. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it's me. Like those are great things to like ground yourself on. I want to get into the mentorship side of things because I think this is such a big topic that I love to talk about because I think it's so important for everybody to have a mentor or something in their life that they can look back on and say, this person led me through this experience this way or helped me in this way. Why for you has mentorship been such a big focus as you've gotten further into your career?
Mentors have helped me a great deal, and they're messengers and different mentors at different times. And I've grown out of them and then sought out new ones, and everyone has had some sort of really significant experience on my growth. And providing mentorship, it's interesting, it's a very selfish thing because I get to be a transformation agent and a vessel for all of this stuff to come through me for the benefit of someone's growth. And then when someone grows, I grow. And it's just this like very, very beautiful cyclical thing.
Yeah.
So mentorship is important because when we're doing something really great, I don't know anyone who's been successful who's done it alone. Maybe they seem hyper independent, but I don't know anyone who's built anything really impactful, sustainable, and successful that brings them and other people consistent joy who's done it on their own. There's always people around us that are feeding us, that are teaching us, that are giving us little messages, even a conversation that someone might have with us. That could be the greatest conversation of your life. And then they might, disappear. You've met them on a plane and they're your mentor. So mentorship is not just like a construct where you pay, like there's a contract and it's a coaching contract, mentorship can come from anywhere. And I think when you have that aligned person,
yeah,
and it doesn't have to be just one, it could be different people throughout different parts of your life. When you have that person or that community, right, of people who are really there and they see what's possible for you before you can see it for you, and they can help you, not do it for you or tell you what to do, but to sort of like guide you, and kind of like a Sherpa along your path and, cheer you on and also tell you the things that you need to hear. And they're not afraid. And I say this a lot, they're not afraid to be who they have to be so that you get what you need to get. And what that means is I'm not afraid to be tough.
yeah.
I'm not afraid to say the thing that you don't want to hear. I'm not afraid to get that text that says, that was a really tough session. Like the way you said that was like, I get that a lot. And, it's very humbling and, it's very, very humbling because, oh my gosh, but no, like, it's okay. Sometimes people do need to hear that thing.
Yeah.
And when you have that person, I think it's so invaluable because then you're modeling for people what that looks like. And for me, honestly, it's a humbling process to work with people and to constantly get positive feedback, but also hard feedback. And it keeps my ego at bay. And I like that because I like that balance.
Yeah.
As the more successful you become or more spiritual, right? Like I like that balance where it's, you just get reminded of you're human, not everything you do is, you don't walk on water, and that's nice. That's really, that's a good thing.
I think mentorship too, like as you were saying, it could be just somebody randomly you meet on a plane, or it could be somebody very intentional. I think it's when you go and you have a mentor, there's different phases of life. So you need somebody through all these different phases of life. And it's so important that somebody who was your mentor 5, 10 years ago may not be the right person for you to have today. So I love that you were saying the chirping along the way is this nice journey of just helping them reach whatever this next phase of their life is.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, the toughest thing that you've ever heard a mentor share with you that really stuck, or you look back and you're kind of like, wow, that was right on the money, or that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah, I think I've gone through a lot of different experiences where I'm like, I'm right in certain situations. And I've had a mentor, she's like, sit your ass down. No, you're not right in these scenarios. And it's then in those moments that I'm like, okay, I get it. I see it, but it's a painful pill to swallow, having to, like you said, like put that ego aside and say, okay, yeah, I'm not right in this situation.
And this is the thing, right? Like you could be right, but you're not coming from the right place,
Yeah.
right? Like sometimes people will say, but I really want, like, I heard this would be really great. Everyone's doing it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if you want to dump all this money into this product because
Yeah.
everyone else is doing it, you might get some return, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're not going to sustain it,
Yeah.
or it's just not going to work for you. Well, why? Well, because it's coming from, I need it right now. I need it right now. It's coming from a lack. I
Yeah.
said, if you're going to do this, let's work you up to, I'm making this decision from a place of everything I need is right there for me always.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because this is fun. This sounds fun. I want to try it. I know that it's not going to be a waste if it doesn't work, right? When you're coming from there, you learn, you grow, you open up your vessel for more. But when you don't come from the right place, even though you want to do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice that she said that to you. And yeah, it's a little, but it's good. It's
Yes.
good.
Yes. What has been one of the toughest things that you've had told to you by a mentor?
So many things. I've put my feet against the fire a lot, like getting into a lot of different situations, like getting a PhD. Like I didn't need, in my career, you don't need a PhD.
Right.
So why did I do that? And it was such a, well, first of all, I loved the research and I loved what I was,
Yeah.
actually doing the research in. But one of the toughest things you could like I put my all into something, and to be to come back. In fact, I actually just got a tattoo.
Okay.
Everyone who nobody know, well, maybe like three people know, plus now you're four. And it's actually right here, and it's just for me. And it looks like a little bird, but actually it's a little like literary carrot. It's an upside. Yeah. I saw this on my dissertation draft from my mentor at the time.
Okay.
Over and over. It's like, expand on this, expand on this, expand on this. It was like a constant thing that I would just see. And I was like, if I see this little bird one more time, like how much more can I expand? How much more can I
Right.
get? How much more can I do? Like, and she used to say to me, she's like, Victoria, I'm preparing you. And I mean, there was a point where I felt like I had dreams about I just had coffee with her. So, I love her, but just like there were moments where it was just so hard because no matter how hard I tried and it didn't come naturally to me, that kind of writing, I couldn't do like, I couldn't like complete it the way that it needed to be. But what was interesting, Danielle, just to, top it off, when it came time to actually defend, my dissertation, it was like straight through, no, and nobody else was doing that. Everyone had like revisions, because I would sit on other people's, and I had to thank her. And she said, this is why I wanted you to get to the point where when you were there, it would just be easy like butter. And it was. And I didn't know that until I got there, that she was just preparing me
Yeah.
So that was hard to just constantly like, here it is, it's perfect, it's done. No, it can, no, it's not, or this is what you didn't like. Constantly having your blind spots pointed out to you,
Yeah.
is very humbling.
I like the what you were saying about the expand though. Expand, because my mentor, she says I actually pointed out to her and she's like, I didn't know I did this to everybody, but her thing is tell me more. And
Yeah.
so I always grew up with, if I took anything to my dad, I had to like have everything ready to go. But then I got and was working with her and she was like, tell me more. And I'm like, oh God, I'm like, this is a different kind of preparation because she just kept digging and digging and digging. And you really got down to the really specific things that we were doing in work. But it was, I always was terrified of the question or the statement that she would give me of tell me more because I was like, I don't know where else to go with this sometimes.
But it's there, like, right? Like when you're pushed,
Yeah.
um, gently, like really massaged, like things do come out. Like you do have more. There is more.
Yeah.
And we are meant for more. Like there's so much more also, right? So it just kind of, yeah, I think mentorship does exactly what she did for you, which is it helps you expand and see what's possible. It helps you really see that hidden potential and bring it to fruition.
Has there been along the way, as you've gone through and doing a lot of this mentorship, that someone's come back to you and said, thank you for doing this? Like this, you truly helped me through whatever sort of case they were going through. You don't have to get specific, so we don't call out the person, but is there something that's left a true impact on you through all of this mentorship work that you've done?
Yes. The thing that, and I won't go too granularly, but the thing that is most genuinely heartwarming for me and keeps me going on those days is when I notice that not only do people's bottom lines increase and get better, like their income and the sustainability of their success, and not only that, that's like almost the cherry on top. The thing that I get most, and it's not in a testimonial form, but it's like in the text messages on the side or a phone call or a voice note where someone's like, I was able to go away for a family vacation with my child with special needs and husband and, family, and not worry about, how my business was doing. And because like I have a sustainable private practice of life, not just my business. Or someone saying, I feel free of the things that like, I can't believe that I'm like here, like where they brighten up. And because of that, they like, those are the things that I think are really great because it's not about helping people make more money.
Okay.
It's about helping people get out of their own way so that they can shine. And then therefore the ripple effect happens. So that's what it's about. That's really what it's about for me.
I love that. Now, you've got your own private practice. I do want to just get into really quickly of what was the decision behind you wanting to go and do your own private practice and start doing that and being that for yourself?
So I was working in a pretty amazing space with children and families with special needs. And I was there for almost a decade. And before that, I had other, jobs during my career as a therapist. And there came a point where I describe it as I'm a butterfly, and it felt like I was in this mason jar. In the beginning, it felt like I had these mentors who were rooting for me and this family there, like that was, and it was amazing. And I was growing and I was bringing something to the place, and they were, the school, and they were, bringing things. It was a reciprocal. And then after a while, I started to recognize and thank goodness I leaned into that sense that it wasn't a bad thing and it wasn't ill intention, but it was like you're getting pushed out. And I always say, like, it's either you move or the universe will move you. And I was definitely ready to move. And I really wanted to do what I wanted to do
Yeah.
in the way that I wanted to do it. And I went into private practice And that was also a journey because I didn't have a coach or a mentor. So I started to lean into different conversations I was having. And if someone offered, I didn't know how to do a website and how do I market and how do you choose a place and all of these things that you don't think about. And I think the thing that drove me the most was just this knowing. There was just this inner knowing that honestly I feel is very, very
Yeah.
ethereal and like from God because it was just this knowing that it was going to happen. Why? Because I said so. Like it was just going to be and it was going to be successful. And it is.
Love
And
it.
it
I have to say, I spent the first 10 years through my teens and everything working with special needs kids. So I love that
has.
you worked with families as well. I think they are the greatest kids, teenagers, adults in the world. And I say to everybody, I'm like, they don't know hate, all they know is love, and they just are the greatest in the world.
Yeah. There are little messengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not about getting them to get us. It's about us
Yeah.
really understanding more of what gifts they have because they're just pure light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned so much from them. And the role that I was in, I was at the YMCA, so I was doing swim lessons and working with their camp. And I learned so much from being in the pool with them and then their counselors as well. They just love life in their own way, but they love life. As you are going through this mentorship with other therapists as well, and they're saying, maybe I should go try and hop into my own private practice, are there some words of just sheer wisdom from your experience doing all of this?
You're going to be met with a lot of influence. And I think the goal is to lean into the influence with integrity. So use your gut. When I was starting out, there was a lot of influence, but now with social media, at its highest, right? It's just always growing and people having all sorts of offers out there and coaches and mentors and people telling you how to do it and what to do in comparison. Really working on yourself to stay grounded, to stay humble, to follow the breadcrumbs, talk to people. No conversation or experience is a mistake. So if something didn't work or, where was I doing this from? Is it from scarcity? Okay, right? Like it's not a mistake. It's not a regret. If it is a mistake, we can learn from it, not regret it. And just to keep going, because if you have the passion and you really want it, like not everyone wants a private practice. That's a lot of responsibility. Some people thrive in an organization where they are a part of a whole in a different way. And so you have to know yourself. And if private practice is for you, lean into it. Keep going, keep growing. You're never done. Don't delete your Instagram stuff just because your branding changes. Like, see, what I'm saying is lean into your trajectory and how it changes. And then you can look back in 2019 and be like, oh my gosh, look at all my purple. Like if you look back on my Instagram, purple and pink and, because I was working with parents and children and I'm like, I am not purple and pink. That is not me. Right. And my branding changed and my voice changed, but it's beautiful. The whole journey, that's what it's about. It's not about having the thing. It's about who you become along the way.
Yes. I always tell everybody, I'm like, please don't go back and look at my older stuff on social media. I'm like, it's one of those things that I'm like, when you start social media, you're like 15 years old or wherever, and you're like, I don't, I don't know what I was doing at that point in my life.
I'm going to go back and look at yours. That's cool. I want to see what you were doing at that point in your life. I love it. I think it's great. It's such a beautiful part of us.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You you speak about creating a thriving private practice that, evolves with you. What does it mean to have a practice that's aligned with your personal growth?
Oh, I love this question so much. I'll answer it by sharing a very quick story.
Yeah.
So before mentorship, I was mentoring, but I was mentoring from people were asking, and I was saying, I have some time, sure, right? And they were paying me for that service, but it wasn't something I would advertise. It was something that people, because I would travel the country speaking, and then people would say, how do you do this? Like, I want to learn. And I would say, okay, I can teach you how to do it for you. Before that, I was building out a program for parents of children with different variety of differences, and special needs. And I was having a really hard time because the one thing is to build out an incredible product that is going to help people. The other thing is marketing it and having the stamina, the capital, the time, the team, the effort to actually get it out there to, as many people as you want to impact. And it's not as easy. It's easy and seamless when people show you their funnels and their marketing things, but the process is something you really have to commit to. And I didn't understand that. So I was I want to say a dark place, which was a great place for opportunity for growth, which is what happened. And the person who became a friend who was helping me market was like, listen, this is incredible, but you're not happy.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because I put in a lot of time, effort, and investment into this thing. And he was like, I think you should I'm not a business coach, but talk to someone. And he introduced me to someone who is, to this day, still an incredible sounding board. I call her my little Tinkerbell and mentor, because she's like the opposite of me, but very complimentary. And she asked me a very important question. What do you love to do? And I started telling her what I do. And she said, no, no, no. What do you love to do? And I said, oh, well, I love helping, people who are building their private practices. And this is why. And she said, that's it. That's it. And I said, that's it. And she said, and why I share this story is because there's a reason, without getting too deeply into it today, why I wanted to help parents for so many years and am very, very good at it. And I still do it in my private practice. But because of my growth as a human and my own relationships in my life, things shifted and morphed into a different kind of passion. And I leaned into that. And I didn't leave behind that program. I still utilize it. I still offer it. It's still something that's there. But I allowed myself to let go and surrender to, what was going on for me, which is I have this amazing gift and it's so much fun. And I can't, and here it is, right? So I think what it means is honoring where you are, whether that means you're getting married and partnering up, or you're buying a house and now finances have changed, or you're having a child, or you're moving to a different country. Things change in your life, and to think that your business is going to remain static doesn't align. So that's what it means to, move and shift and prepare yourself to have a private practice that moves along with you, not the other way around.
I love that because you want to be part of it. You don't want to just be, in some ways, like a bystander just watching your own business happen. You want to be part of it. You want to be ingrained very much into everything that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to, be pushing up against, I built it and this is how it is. It's like, okay, but then you're going to be up against a lot of, where's the growth, right? It doesn't allow for that growth.
Victoria, my last question for you is just what fuels your fire and your passion to continue to do everything that you are doing?
Lately, it's just been, if I've been blessed with another day on this earth, to practice appreciation and gratitude and to use all my gifts. I just want to be used up in the best way every day. And every day I come to the day, with a percentage less or more, but I try, that's what it is. It's just being my best self and striving to grow and pardon myself for my mistakes and learn from them, and just to continue being a contribution to people around me.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for joining me today. I so appreciate it. And I appreciate you
Yeah.
taking time out of your day.
Thank you so much, Danielle. This is such a nice conversation to start my day with.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And guys, I'm going to have all of Dr. Victoria's socials linked down below, all of her information. Please go give her a follow, follow along with her journey. And as always, I will see you guys back here next time. Bye, y'all.